It's the same two things that might threaten your involvement to work on this platform, Uber or Uber Eats. We just talked about this with DoorDash. It is AI and it's autonomous vehicles. Here's the deal. I just listened to Uber's Q2 quarterly earnings call where, yes, they addressed both of these things. I'm going to go over what they said and what this means for you as an Uber earner. So this call with Uber's CEO Dara Khosrowshahi and CFO Prashant Mahendra-Rajah. And right off the bat, basically question number one, Dara was asked about AI and kind of more so at large. Would they consider one super app so you don't have to have like a rideshare app and an Uber Eats customer app? Now, for you and I as the earner, we basically already see that because you can do both on the Uber driver app. Talking about AI, Dara said that they can use AI to send custom promos to customers more so than ever. Now, here's the tie-in. I wouldn't be surprised if, of course, they're already doing this with their algorithm, getting different promos, Boost Plus Pay, Quests, Surge Pay, if you still have that. They're going to do the same thing with AI, or again, call it algorithms, whatever we want to call it, to send you custom promos. Related to your pay though, a trend that I've been watching for at least 4 years is the tapering, the lowering of that surge pay. You can let me know in the comments, but actually Uber was the first platform I ever did in 2015. I've been doing gig work for about 10 years now. That surge pay has been non-existent pretty much on my Uber Eats profile. On rideshare, if I toggle that on, I'll see surge pay, but it's gone on the courier side. I've said this before with DoorDash, you and I are gonna use the platform that pays you the most. I don't necessarily care if it's from surge pay or just higher base pay. I wanna be able to work on the platform, the one that I choose, because there's plenty nowadays to pick from. I'm gonna use the one that pays me the most. So I'll keep a close eye on incentives, bonus pay, testing out these apps. That's all I do here. Consider subscribing, helping you make money, different side hustles. Let's talk about AVs though, autonomous vehicles, because they directly cited this as well. Talking about their partnership with AV partner Waymo, and Dara mentioned that the average Waymo vehicle with Uber is busier than 99% of drivers insofar as trips per hour. That's on rideshare. They're not particularly trying to solve this for delivery, but DoorDash is working on that. And then trust, Uber Eats certainly is working on that. But think about that, busier than 99%, like everybody, of drivers insofar as trips per hour. How though? So is the Waymo taking like super short runs? Because that would be basically minimum pay, and that's not necessarily what you want, maybe, as a rideshare driver. But the high level we're at least thinking here is a Waymo can just drive nonstop, right? So that would stand to reason. It's doing more trips per hour. So what is it? Is it just the robotics, the autonomy of not having to stop? It can just do more trips per hour? Or are they giving it shorter runs and translate that to food delivery? I thought of that as kind of the partnership with AVs to give the AVs, the robotic whatever, the worst runs so you can focus on making more money in the best runs. But continuing on this call, Dara mentioned that for their overall platform success, the more supply, the better, both AVs and human. Now they have 20 AV partners. They just partnered with Lucid, with Neuro, that they're very excited. They've had terrific responses in the pilot markets. Now here, Prashant added that it's not profitable right now. We know this, a high capital cost, putting up the money, Waymo having a resource engineer fund these vehicles, etc. And especially for Uber, I think they're putting a lot more capital than, let's say, DoorDash, that's solving that kind of last 10 feet. That's their challenge with autonomous delivery. with rideshare, Uber and the team really are leaning into this. It's not going away. Prashant detailed a very $50 billion or something share buyback, and they're using a large portion of that to go into new AV partnerships. And lastly, something very interesting specifically, they actually finished the call with this about you and I earners and AI and kind of the intersection of earning money with AI, or specifically AI tasks. Uber now has almost 9 million earners. That's drivers and couriers. They just kind of group it together and call them earners. Almost 9 million, 8.8 million. I feel like I just reported that they were at 7.2. So now they're at 8.8. Now keep in mind, if they continue to scale their business almost at a 1-to-1, which I don't think they are, because like they just mentioned, they want as much supply as possible. But if they do continue to expand, more merchant partners, more restaurants, shops, grocery stores, then it can keep up with a rising earner supply. But specifically about the earnings, Dara detailed that there's different AI solutions for you to make money by, yes, sending you tasks to actual drivers, earners. This would be data labeling, mapping, translation, even tuning algorithms, he said. And he did specifically said, yes, sometimes this would be sent out to our drivers. That's the first time I've heard about some kind of earnings opportunity like that, specifically that kind of task, because we've seen tasks from DoorDash, check merchant hours, take menu photos, but I've heard nothing from Uber as far as tasks, let alone these AI labeling tasks. So I'm very curious when we would start to hear more information about that. So AI and AVs are very much at the forefront of both of these industry companies, Uber and DoorDash. If you haven't watched DoorDash's call summary, I'll leave a link down below. Do you feel like Uber is going in the right direction for you? Will they actually add new tasks? Will it be something AI-based in 2025, 2026? And which company do you think is more focused on improvements for you as the actual earner?